We're underway, final match of round 10, and a good clash in wet conditions this afternoon as Sarong tries to get it out of there, and you can see the water splashing everywhere as it's sent forward by Switkowski. Taberner able to pick it up pretty well on the half volley. In the wet conditions, it's going to be slippery, it's going to be a slog through the early stages. Darcy, probably built for these conditions. Akers, who's taken a ground, and will get plenty of these, a stoppage.
Really good signs early, but Darcy Moore not dropping off his opponent, coming forward, squeezing up, seeking that tackle for the first stoppage.
Through plenty of sets of hands as Akers tackled well by Crisp and seen over the line, and Josh Dacos not really happy with the treatment there from Blake Akers.
Well, might as well get the jumper wet early, get yourself nice and soaked so you can rip into it. Interesting to see where he plays. He spent time on the wing. He spent time forward. Where's his best spot? Josh Dacos.
Well, he's a winger when he runs the rolls and patterns, getting all the way up the ground and back to support.
Be a good battle between he and Blake Akers if they spend any time on each other. Akers having a career best season on the wing.
Got Matthew Pavlich at the ground. Pav, we want a close eye on Jordan De Goey, as always. Midfield or forward?
Well, he started forward, Gaz, but he is playing a high half forward, so he was in that last stoppage, but now it's gone inside 50. He's gone back out.
Darcy down to the front. Switkowski wrapped up by a couple. Walters in there as well to lock it in. Good tackling by the Pies.
So Hayden Young is the player that's got to go. He's trying to get dangerous and make it a game on him when he goes forward for the Dockers.
Darcy with strength, able to just set it. The ball back. Lob was there, Frederick. There's some holding going on. It will go the Dockers' way. Lob to take the free kick.
And there's an example of wanting the ball close to your goal. If there's a 50-50 decision or a free kick that's there to be won, or a contested ball, you want it happening within a possession or two of your goals. And Lob here gets the advantage. Outsized, still side bottom, grab the left arm, free kick.
13 goals, 7 for the season for Rory Lobb, who has provided some strike power inside 50, but a miss there to start for Freo.
17th in the comp for accuracy. Now, on a day like this, when you get a look at a goal from 20 metres, 30 metres out like that, you've got to take the opportunity. So it may come back to bite them. Conversely, the Magpies, 5th.
Mason Cox, hands to it. Going to be a tough footy to mark this afternoon. Darcy in there, Crisp, trying to get it through. Brendan Cox with a good handball. He heard the voice of Akers. Then Clark around the body, long up towards Walters. It'll stay in play initially for Taberner. And out again.
Surprising Fremantle actually handballed sideways and backwards. If they persist with that, they did get the territory eventually, but a 3 or 4 metre, 5 metre little pass or kick to get the momentum your way is crucial in these conditions.
Darcy trying to win it down. De Goey will get it on the boot. Tumbling a kick. Ryan able to affect the spoil. Clark claims it. Brendan Cox took his time. Scrubs a kick wide. Good desperation to get in there and win it from Elliott back into the side today. Boundary line looming yet again. Pies keep it in initially, but it's out of play.
We always, when we do get these games, and they're a bit of a rarity, we sometimes bemoan the fact that the players are slow to react in terms of the way they play, and they still want to play dry with the footy. Is it much better that this is what they knew was going to confront them before they came out?
I think so, and we're seeing both sides. I mean, just trying to move the ball forwards as much as they possibly can, hacking off the ground as Brody did there.
Certainly gained about 20 metres there, Will Brodie. And Walters with a good handball on the up to Sarong to the 50. Moore got creative. It goes straight to the boundary line. Tough one to ping in these conditions, but it is not enough intent to keep it alive. Now Freo take it quickly. Craig McCrae wasn't sure about it. How leaping against Lobb, and it's over and out.
The ground ball's the other thing that Fremantle let themselves down against Gold Coast last week. They lost by 10, which was their 3rd worst result of the year. So this ball's going to live on the ground. So all these things are set to test the Dockers, and Collingwood have just got to continue to ask a question that Gold Coast did so well last week.
Darcy to the front. Mason Cox with the reach. Walters burrowed their head down. Brayshaw took too long, and he was claimed by Adams in a strong tackle.
That's a good tackle. That is the sort of thing that you're going to see all afternoon.
Always likes it tight and tough. Taylor Adams. As the ball goes up the line, Elliott couldn't trap it down low. Clark, very clean pick up in the wet. Now the dangerous kick goes back through the corridor from Brennan Cox, spoiled away from Murphy. Chance here for the Magpies. Crisp was able to spin past Aish, might have collected him on the way through, then he lost it with a bounce, which is always going to be tough. Now the scrap's on, they're into the swimming pool at the top of the 50. It's still a chance for Collingwood. Lipinski wrapped up, got it out. Frederick, he went back to help, and now Brodie. But it's a 3-on-1 in favour of the Magpies. Lobb has to compete against them. Maynard's there, he did ever so well to halve it and see it to the line.
Yeah, we're not,
No, it's going to be paid against Rory Lobb, who also didn't try to keep it in.
Well, the umpires are going to try and pay that every time they can to keep this ball moving. Otherwise, going to get stuck in the same spot. But that long kick into the middle, not on from Brennan Cox.
Maynard's kick into the pocket, hoping for Darcy Cameron.
Spot on, and Cox was the one that gave that lateral handball early as well. So maybe the one player that hasn't adjusted the conditions. This is the first clearance in Collingwood's forward half after 8 in the Fremantle forward half in the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Darcy to the front. Brodie again just hacking it away. Switkowski hands to it. Schultz was clean. Aish couldn't get too much purchase. Ginnivan threw that back to Noble, but got away with it. And Cameron used the body expertly to just nudge his opponent out of the way and mark it.
So here's the Rory Lobb moment at the other end of the ground. So, you know, shots at goal, you're not going to get the same volume as you would on a clear day, obviously, and it's just whether you can take the most of the opportunity. So Lobb unable to. Cameron does. It's a nice counter punch right here for the Magpies.
From Western Australia, originally Darcy Cameron from down in Albany. More opportunity in the ruck the last couple of weeks with no Brodie Grundy in the side. So he hasn't kicked a goal in his last 2 games, Darcy Cameron. And Freo with all the attacking early, but it's Collingwood who struck the first blow.
So here's what we're talking about. You know, in normal conditions, this is a risky kick from Brennan Cox, but he's looked up here, he's put it up high, and then you're just hand in mouth, because taking a contested mark in these conditions, the ball's going to get in the ground, they're well represented, and that gave him the opportunity to get field position. Now, from a clearance point of view, it's been just one way, but right now they've made the most of an opportunity that is all about field position. Great result from Darcy Cameron.
David Mundy onto the ground, straight into the centre bounce, and who's there with him? Jordan De Goey. So we've talked about him a couple of times. Started at a half forward, now he's in for a centre bounce, right alongside David Mundy.
The Darcy Cameron fans in the building with the tailor-made ponchos to show their support. They made the trip up the highway as Aish trying to get it out of there. Side bottom. Struck that pretty well. Up towards McCreery. Darcy in there to meet it. Lowe couldn't gather. Cox slung out in the tackle by Darcy. Spills through to Collier. Akers had to wait for it. Just in a pack of Collingwood players. The Dockers keep it moving. De Goey sliding down. Again, as that water just splashes everywhere. But it was neatly done by De Goey. McCreery sends it in. Ginnivan sliding down low. Couldn't take it. Then smothers it off the boot of Ryan. And it'll stay inside 50 for the Pies. We've got plenty of support in the crowd.
No surprise, but the pressure's high. Every time there's a disposal won or a possession gain, the opposition are all over it. The ball's not spreading far, and it's going to be numbers around the ball all day.
Cameron and Darcy at it again. Brown unable to take it. Mundy with plenty of clean skill, but Chapman was bumped as he kicked, and it's out of bounds on the full.
The thing with wet conditions is you think that it brings the best players back to the pack, but I find that it actually elevates it. The cleaner players really stand out.
Yeah. A smother from Ginnivan, pressure out of bounds, ball back inside 50, really important.
To the hot spot as well. Big pack, no one can mark there. Logue had a path cleared for him by Akers. Adams trying to disrupt it. Clark, he's tackled. And a dangerous tackle to call.
I think also what it does is that you find our players are really comfortable with contact, because there's no outside ball today, because you have to take an extra minute to get, or extra second to get possession of the footy. You're a chance to get hunted down all day. Those that are comfortable with it just accept the pressure and the body contact that comes their way.
Taverner trying to bring a bit more rain with the kick. Walters able to get it back to Brayshaw. Murphy in best position. He's always courageous with the ball in the air, and he takes it on the chest. Good to see him back in the side. Nathan Murphy, ankle injury in the pre-season. That's his first game for 2022.
That is his DNA, going back with a flight and taking chest marks. Murphy will do that all day.
Lipinski up the line. Cox again over to Impact. Mundy. Heard a voice but gave it straight back to Lipinski. He overcooked the handball. It's out again.
Even that one from David Mundy, who's as experienced and smart as any player that's played for the last 10 years, he's looking for a forward handball. Kick the damn thing and get territory and then reset it at the other end.
Adapting to the conditions is the big question on Fremantle after their performance against the Suns last week. The Magpies have had the better of it so far in the first term. As Elliott swings it long and Griffin load with strength. Career high last match. Griffin Logue, 29 disposals, 17 intercept possessions. His spot in the team for Fremantle has been a little rocky through the first part of the season, been in and out of the side. He's certainly locking it in now. As Freo get the free kick to Darcy. No. It will be. Tapner was trying to claim it. So a chance for the Dockers to go inside 50. It's a shank off the instep, but it works well. Straight onto the chest of Schultz. Lob trying to find some space in the square. The wet footy, it's a long way out for Schultz, so he tees it up. Lob stretches, arms were chopped. It'll be a free kick to Fremantle.
We haven't seen those paid as regularly in the last 18 months, but that's clearly there in these wet conditions, not being able to get to the highest point where the ball is. Jeremy Howe just felt like he needed to take one of Lob's arms away, the left arm, but this is one he has to finish.
He had a sider earlier, Rory Lobb. This one closer to goal. And he strikes it near that post, but he sneaks it in, and the Dockers are on the board.
So we're sitting at 5 inside 50s each. But Freo with a little bit of balance of territory and +6 up on contested ball. Collingwood have come to play. There's no doubt that there's a real intent on moving the ball forward. But Fremantle, and Rory Lobb in particular, has had a couple of opportunities, 2 free kicks inside 50 and converted one of them. And looks to be up and about and a bit of a thorn in the Collingwood defence.
So I know kicking to a big pack like that wins them a free kick and a goal. So, and you will have to do that. But how imaginative can you get in these situations? I mean, that kick was to a really conservative spot, fair enough. But at some stage, we could just take territory and kick to space and let it run on and let someone else run onto a footy. Do you get that imaginative?
You could, and no doubt Sean Darcy's kick inside was a shank.
Yeah,
and
so the least expected spot was the most dangerous.
Play in front. You never know what'll happen.
Mundy gets it out to Sarong. And now Young. Off a step to a one-on-one. Banfield. He's going to get Murphy out of it. Schultz hit it with pace. Just dribbles the kick in. Skids it towards Walters. Went through his legs. Switkowski went one-handed, then was held onto. And another free kick for Fremantle, forcing the play and forcing the free kick.
So there's an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like the kick is... it's a left foot kick in these conditions and it's horrible and it goes on the ground, but you're alive and you're dangerous.
It's actually the second time Fremantle have kicked it along the ground inside 50. Their very first one was a deliberate kick that was short, but it was a ground ball.
Yeah.
So I think we will see that. It looks like Fremantle are wanting to do that going inside their forward 50.
A finish in the wet. Switkowski steps out and bends it right back around. And swiftly, Freo strike 2 in a row.
And the other thing I reckon is these kicks that we are seeing more and more of, these around the corner kicks are going to be the ones that are going to be the most effective today. So there's the free kick. Johnny Noble there can't see the ball spill out, but I do think dangerous footy, like imprecise footy inside 50 in these conditions, is just as good as putting the ball up high. And if your forwards are proactive and they're the first to react, then it puts them in a really good position, and they've scored from one hand.
I think the advantage of the ground balls is clearly that's where the ball is going to spend most of its time. Those high balls to the aerial targets, they can draw free kicks like the last couple have. So both of them have their advantages.
A couple of Freo legends watching on as out of the middle, DeGoey sends it long. Brendan Cox fists the ball away. Crisp close to the line. Sees it out. Jack Crisp taking his place in the side. Illness during the week was a chance of his consecutive game streak of 172 coming to an end, but game 173 in a row for Jack Crisp today.
DeGoey really up and about. 2 clearances already, 4 touches, 120 metres gain.
Pendlebury straight back to the line.
So +10 contested possession.
Oh, that's been paid as well.
+9 contested possession for Fremantle early.
Tough call in the wet. It goes the way of the Dockers. We've seen 3 of those already in this first term.
And last week's game against Gold Coast was one of the higher contested possession games. St Kilda Port earlier in the season. We just haven't seen these conditions that often. It will be a high contested ball game.
Alex Pearce battling an ankle problem through the last few weeks. Given the all clear by the medical staff just to play through it. As his kick goes out wide and off hands. We'll get another boundary throw in.
Interestingly enough, like Fremantle looking to still play with some shape in their offence and defence. You know, possess the ball, try and pull the defence apart rather than just going long down the line.
How expansive that becomes in the back half, I reckon. Yep, because you generally get an extra. It's what happens past the centre that's the interesting part.
Looks like Mason Cox has removed the goggles that he's been playing with over recent weeks, so conditions playing a part there, you'd think. Nick Dacos with a long kick. Logue just spiking it away.
You could see down here at ground level, just Dacos then, he was almost directing traffic, just saying, guys, I'm not going to kick the ball inside. I'm not going short. It's going down the line, and that's good all our numbers there, which is the difference in the 2 styles at this point in time. Fremantle, as Bakshi says, still trying to keep their shape in offence.
Akers with the clearance for Fremantle. Interesting spoil. It was effective in the end by Tabata. Just hacking it off the deck. Collingwood gaining territory. Akers back in board to Young, who can control it. Disrupted by Pendlebury. Sarong. He sends it forward. Lobb gives the hands. Young. He lost it. Nick Dacos in there. McCreery as well. In danger from Josh Dacos. So it will be a free kick to Freo.
Freo still persisting with a little bit of lateral movement to try and open it up before they go forward.
Mundy for Walters. Good spoil Quainer. DeGoey. Pendlebury. Mason Cox. Over the top for Myercheck, and he misses with a handball.
And old habits won't die. Now, they'll keep handball, and they'll keep trying to give it, because that's the way they play 95% of the time. That's the free kick that really wasn't there, was it? Didn't look like it was going to be causing any great injury to him.
Getting in danger has always been a free kick, Gus.
No, it hasn't, Nathan. It's the prospect of injury.
I don't see it paid too often. Here's Frederick. Brayshaw.
Give us a look at your hands, mate.
Never got my fingernails dirty.
10 clearances to 5 so far in favour of the Dockers. This one will go straight to the boundary again. I presume we'll get a similar result. We will. So the ball staying in play as it's a free kick to Fremantle. Just a high long kick from Ryan to the packs. Witkowski was waiting down. Noble. Maynard was touched off the boot. So DeGoey has to keep it moving. He was clean to get it to McCreery. Very open forward of centre for the Magpies. There's no one in front of Hoskin Elliott right now, so he's got to take it and wait and see for Myercheck to push hard to the square. Got rid of Pearce, and he'll soccer through the goal. Open passage of play for the Magpies. They get it inside 50. They're effective, and they add their second.
Gee, worked hard. Gee, worked hard then, Myercheck. He and Pearce were in a race down the... Once this ball got squared here, then it was Myercheck and Pearce one-on-one, the only 2 ahead of the ball, and he just put his head down You can see Pearce has got a pretty good position there from a defensive point of view in these conditions, but the kick was good enough just to get over the back, and that's the difference. He identified where his teammate was, over the back, kick it as hard as you can, trying to give him the opportunity, and he did the rest. Great result.
Geordie De Goey started the game really well, 6 disposals already, leading all comers with 4 contested possessions around the field, a couple of clearances, really clean there to be able to get that fast break going.
Sharp work inside 50 by the Pies as Pendlebury socketed it only as far as Brodie. Was touched off the boot. Murphy going in, big bump from Brayshaw. He certainly felt that, Murphy. Brayshaw coming the other way. Collier away to Sarong. Murphy still down. Kick goes inside 50. Good spoil by Moore. Scrambling after it, Nick Dacos. Schultz on the up to Switkowski. And now Frederick. Time to steady. Time to fire. But to the near side.
There's actually one area that Nathan Murphy needs to improve in his game, and that is being able to play a game out. He always puts himself on the line physically. He's probably been unable to finish more senior games than he has finished. Very unlucky in injury status. Sorry, Pabs.
Yeah, such a wretched run for him. He's had the wind knocked out of him there. He's going to come to the bench. Hopefully see him back out there. There's Collingwood. And Jamie Elliott towards Hoskin Elliott. Again, a very open forward line for Collingwood.
Yeah, got numbers back Fremantle right now, so it's just going to be a bit smarter here.
They delay it to side bottom and then just caresses it into the pocket. Ginnivan's down there, close to the line. Young right with him, and Chapman sliding over. Wanted to see it over, and we'll get a boundary throw.
Just with the Murphy one as well. How good was the bump from Brayshaw? Beautifully executed. Now, people talk about bumping. Well, you know, there it is, and it's hurt the player, but we will accept that as players. No issue at all.
Darcy down, Brodie to Brayshaw. Good clearance work in the wet. Switkowski knocked it on. Quainer shoveled it across in the end to Cameron. It'll land with Clark.
You're talking about that lateral thinking for entries. You're still side bottom, just placed it into a bit of a position in the pocket. Jack Ginnivan didn't take possession, was happy just to try and draw the stoppage or a free kick. Two smart players.
Two Pies go up. Schultz did just enough to bring it down, but Maynard spots side bottom. And just had a couple of metres of space. Almost the hard running Crisp.
Crispy's been statistically one of the best players in the competition this year on AFL rankings. Very consistent.
Rated player this season so far. Elliott in the wet, rising, but not paid. He almost had it on the way down. It would have been some sort of mark.
It was a beautiful jump at it, and it looked like he did take it all the way down. Let's have a look at this. His ability to do this is unbelievable. Off 2 steps.
Had it right there. His work rate's been huge early in this match.
Almost have to pay it just for the effort in these conditions. But Collingwood, well, they might still get a goal. Ginnivan with the side step, and it doesn't straighten enough. Off the post.
What a cracking game. I mean, the conditions can't be changed and they can't be adapted. It's going to be wet all day, but both of these teams with slightly different ways to handle it. But, very, very solid game of footy.
All tied up in this first quarter. Pendlebury, Quainer, side bottom. Another repeat inside 50 for the Pies. Plenty of wrestling going on down there. Brodie, Clark. Around his body, it'll fall with Switkowski. And 50-metre penalty.
He's off. No one in front of him either.
And someone else to set the mark. Try and check exactly what it was for, but the stand call was being made. There's a couple of players running past. It just allows Freo to gain that territory, to get the inside 50. Darcy went back into the pack. Schultz weighted down. Couldn't get past Quainer. Excellent tackle, holding the ball.
Well, speaking of Jordan De Goey, who's had a good start. On the other side, Will Brodie. He's had 10 disposals, 6 clearances already, which is his average for a game across the season. 5 contested possessions. Yeah. Great start.
Having a career season, Will Brodie up.
The way they use the ball, Bucksy, Freo, you've spoken about being willing to change direction and take it on with handball. And Collingwood are starting to do it a bit more too, maybe Kasai. I'm just wondering with the balls, like, you know, the high number of balls in rotation, whether that allows them to continue to play a little bit more aggressively.
There is something in that because for Sir Doug Nicholls' round, there's a little bit more grip on the ball. The indigenous markings that they put on the ball provides a little bit more grip as well.
Yeah.
No, in my experience.
That ball was touched, just ricochets up in the air towards Lobb. Banfield put it back to Lobb, who coughed it up to Mason Cox, who blasted towards the 50. Big one-on-one to win here. Elliott got it down, cleared a path for Ginnivan, who soccers it forward. He just needs it to keep skidding it on end, but Clark is quick. He'll get back first. And Freo can try and take it out of defence as they slide in and lose the handle. Blake Acres.
Mason Cox had a couple of support runners on the outside. He kicked long, and that's okay in these conditions, but he had two Collingwood teammates on his outside in space then. He chose the wrong option.
Nathan Murphy just coming back on, boys. He's recovering from that big bump on Andy Brayshaw.
Great to see him back out there. We'll keep playing in this one. Chapman put it across to Acres, not in the intended fashion, but worked okay. And Taberner will get a free kick. Taberner, a couple of hamstring problems this season. To go, he slipped over and he couldn't get back to try and win it. Noble could have been taken high. He's wrapped up instead. And it will be a ball up.
There's another example of Freo still willing to go into the centre of the square. We talked about the Brennan Cox kick earlier. That was super. That was aggressive on a 25-degree day.
Mason Cox almost out of the ruck. Mundy, Aish, crisp, an important touch in there. And soccer it into space and head towards the boundary line. Josh Dacos will win the foot race and he'll pull out the soccer skills to slide it past a couple. Chapman. Neatly done back to Lowe. And now Clark, and Fremantle can go right back in defence to Pearce. It's all square with 2.5 minutes to go in this first term.
53 kicks, 54 kicks, 37 handballs. Freo to Collingwood 46 kicks, 21. So they're still flipping it around a bit, the Dockers.
Taberner, lob, strong mark.
Right, so Lobby's gone up into the ruck and he's going to kick it straight to Sean Darcy here.
Didn't quite make it to Darcy in the end. Moore was able to split between the two. Darcy was the target. Taberner there as well.
Yeah, he's drifted forward, Sean Darcy, and now he's taking the ruck. So the two big men, Lobb, and who's actually started the game pretty well, Rory Lobb, Sean Darcy and he working in tandem to try to mix it up and get one free inside forward 50.
Taberner heading back to the goal squares. Darcy won it down. Lipinski. Over the top of it was Mundy. And not enough intent to get it out of there. So holding the ball, it's a tough call, but you have to make it look like you're trying to get it out from underneath there.
When that whistle doesn't blow, Paps, and you're the bloke on the bottom, you start to feel very, very nervous.
As Mundy to the hot spot. Taberner lob there off the hands of side bottom. Maynard kicked it into Noble. Crisp gave it back to Acres. Now Collier wanted a free kick as the footy trickles over the line.
I understand your point about getting off the line a little bit, but I think it's a predictability for your ground level players as much as anything on a day like this. So all of Fremantle's slower kicks inside 50 have been to exactly the same spot, which means that their smalls know exactly where the ball is going.
Darcy down, side bottom.
Which is in a bit of contrast to the two that we've seen in the middle of the ground, where they've been really aggressive and gone almost to the centre circle. So as long as they're all on the same page, we'll see how it holds up.
There's a big bucket of rain about 20 minutes before the bounce. It's made conditions so tough in this first term. No clean footy though. Brayshaw was good to get it there. Couldn't hit Lob. Dacos went soccer style again. DeGoey trying to run away. Young with a great lunging tackle. The handball away, Ginnivan. Again, just Collingwood gaining some territory any way they can. Hoskin Elliott claims. And Chapman sees it over.
Both sides should be given great credit. I mean, the way they're working, playing percentage, it's been good, hard, aggressive footy. 2 goals apiece. Probably the right scoreline, I think, right now.
Cox flicked it over the back. Darcy in there to try and win it. Crisp couldn't get connection. Clever from Mundy to go underground. And Sarong with the one hand. Up to Taberner. He juggles the ball over the line. It'll be a boundary throw.
It's a really interesting little subtle shift in the sides. Fremantle are playing their sweeping winger almost as an insider, and so if we see that in clearances, he's almost an extra insider, whereas Collingwood's winger is playing 15 and 20 metres off, way off the stoppage as a first sweeping player. No, just a little bit further away, so that little quick kick might go to them. It's to see whether you commit to the inside or sweep to be the first line of defence.
Lipinski taken high. Made such a great start to his career at Collingwood. Up to half forward, bypasses a few. Brendan Cox to Mundy. Through the middle, Noble with the spike. Spills to Chapman, run down by De Goey. He's dragged it back in, Chapman. Very lucky to get away.
He had the whistle up to the mouth, the umpire, and then thought better of it.
Neither ruckman got at it. The free kick will go to the Dockers for the block. It'll be tough to score from here, but they have got Taberner out in space. The kick needs to go inside 50. Banfield is on the lead, but it's over his head. Spills out the back for Fremantle. Seconds tick down. Schultz was wrapped up. Well tackled by Maynard. And that brings to a close. Pretty entertaining first term. It's tight, it's tough, it's slippery, and certainly a slog, but it's all square at quarter time. 2-2, 14 apiece at the first change. Second quarter, not far away.
2 goals apiece. It's been a good, honest game of footy, but the contrast in styles have been interesting.
Yeah, it's very clear that Collingwood are happy to go with lower possessions but go down the line, straight down the line towards goal, even on turnover, whereas Fremantle want to open it up a little bit more. Fremantle have had 27 more touches, and they're a higher disposal team across the competition to date, so we should expect that trend to continue.
Second quarter underway from Optus Stadium as Darcy kicks the ball high forward to the 50. Frederick had hands to it. Dacos dispossessed. And a free kick to Noble for over the shoulder. The Pies have lost 3 of their last 4 here at Optus Stadium. The Dockers have won their last 3 against the Pies. They've got a good record, but it's tight and tough in the early stages. Pearce will get the sidestep in, and it's clean bowls everybody through the legs of Taberner. Moore, Pendlebury, Maynard trying to get the run through for Adams, but Brayshaw knocked it down. Walters carried forward. In fact, over the shoulder on Michael Walters.
It's probably one of the reasons why the Pies are less of a possession side, because they get themselves in a bit of trouble.
Well, and they're coming up against one of the best come-forward pressure sides in Fremantle.
No one close to Brodie, so he can just get to 50, try to unleash a bomb, but it's across the face. Schultz was hoping to try and take the mark in the pocket, but it's out of play.
Handy pick-up, Will Brodie. See Terra go out, you get him come into the side and doesn't miss a beat. 11 touches, 6 clearances, 5 contested possessions.
Just the 5 games for the Suns last year, Will Brodie. Hasn't missed for Freos. Ball goes down Lipinski. Out to Maynard. Up the wing, Logue. Nick Mark opposed to Elliott. Ryan.
He's just want to spread and change direction and have a bit of a look at what's around and try and open up the ground a bit.
Clark to Brayshaw. Pretty well manned up down the ground, so Brayshaw just pulls the kick in short to Pearce. Trying to get through the Collingwood defence. Pearce goes out wide. Now Ryan to Aish. They get it to about 60 out. Into the pocket they go. Taberner there, spills through everyone off hands. And it rolls through for a behind.
Once again, that the possession footy spread it, but then when they had their inside 50, prepared to go pretty much at the skinny goalpost with really structured and consistent, predictable ball use inside 50. Yet to see if that works.
Young across to help out after Brendan Cox and Darcy Cameron were in a wrestle. McCreary kept it in play. Lipinski was there. Brodie again clean and able to flick it over the top. Switkowski was a great handball. And now to Brayshaw, the deep entry. Noble best position. Walters harassing him. Moore at the supportive side bottom. Now Maynard. Long towards Degoe. He's hit hard by Pearce. And Pearce looks like he's hurt himself as they crashed in.
Stood up really well then, the Collingwood back group. Just under a bit of pressure, able to be composed, used the footy well.
It's Pearce feeling the effects, and it's strength by Brendan Cox just to hold his opponent away and take the mark.
He's a McGovern-like player, this fella. He's a young player, but he likes winning the ball in the air himself, and he does back himself by use of foot.
Sikowski called to go. And as a result, he set the kick too far.
Trying to look for a bit much on that occasion.
Didn't realise Elliott was behind him as the play on call came. Panicked a little as the kick goes in. Logue wins it down. Just past Lipinski. Brayshaw. Brodie. And Schultz with a diving catch.
It's been busy early this game with one of those fleet of small forwards that Freo have that do so much damage in the front half and defend so well in their back half.
I've taken 9 uncontested marks to none this quarter already. So just in the opening minutes, just wanting to control the ball. Maybe it's drying out a little bit. It looks to be a little bit better here. No rain. The ground, of course, will drain really well. So maybe that style of footy that we've become accustomed to we'll see more of.
Craig McRae keeping an eye on things from the bench. As you see Darcy send that one off the side of his boot and out of bounds on the full.
I don't think the team that wins the most possessions will be the one that wins the game necessarily. It'll be the effectiveness of it, especially in their front half, as we're seeing. The opportunities are going to be quite sparse.
We've certainly had more of it, but just a 1-point ball game as Collingwood can get some momentum here as Noble drives the kick long inside 50. Interesting pick up for Pearce. He's got Myercheck right on his shoulder. Maybe he'll walk it over the line as he's tackled.
So I think that space, we always talk about front squares for forwards and, get a great contest. I think over the back in these conditions can still be, or can be really dangerous if you're all on the same page. Just watch for that, I reckon, at various stages. Get it over the back, run onto the footy.
Pies inside 50. One down to the front. There's Pies waiting for it. Elliott there with the cross to Myercheck, who just got a bootlace on it to poke it through.
There's one thing that Pies fans expect pretty much every week is that Brodie Myercheck's going to hack one off the ground or out of the air and kick a goal with it. He's a bit of a freak. The capacity to create some space and throw himself at a loose ball with his boot. He played a lot as a key defender before he got his AFL opportunity, but as soon as he moved into the forward line, he plays with a mentality of a forward. He'll take a goal whenever he can.
He's just a beauty, and it's not necessarily lace out 8 uncontested marks entering your forward line. It's dirty, ugly footy in there. It's hacked off the ground by Jamie Elliott. His soccer style cross, and he gets a toe to it.
Boys, Mason Cox just down to the rooms, went past us with holding a finger. The physio was with him, the doctor as well. I think there was a bit of blood, so maybe split webbing. We'll let you know as soon as we know more.
Thanks, Pav. Collingwood get the free kick out of the middle. I'd love to kick a couple of quick ones, but Pearce takes the mark this time.
So that's just smart umpiring. I mean, technically that's infringed area coming in, but didn't know that the ball hadn't been touched. So perhaps missed that.
Well, a kick from Pearce falls short. Ginnivan's got it. So after the turnover, Freo scrambling back. Ginnivan with the sidestep around Chapman. He wants to launch it from 50. It's working close, but into the post.
Second poster.
Great awareness, though. Like, again, in these conditions, you're going to find, as Mason Cox, as Pav tells us, in these conditions, expect the unexpected. The kick that normally always hits a target's going to drop a bit short, and you're always in the game, and that was Ginnivan then.
Ryan towards Brendan Cox. Sarong. Tackle winged from Josh Dacos.
They've been going really slow here, Bucks, and it hasn't quite worked for them at this stage. You're giving Collingwood a chance to get set behind the footy.
Yeah, the high possession game probably just gives it opportunities for turnover.
Up towards Taberner, who was caught behind, and they'll run out of room.
They have got field position out of this Fremantle. They are prepared to open the field up in their back half, but as soon as they get the ball in front half, they're going down the line and trusting their forward contest. And they have had more stoppages in their front half than Collingwood in this first 40 minutes.
Darcy front position. Crisp kicks it away and it fell into the lap. It was the 15. It was kicked to Adams, who will get it now up to Elliott. Collingwood moving forward with a bit more purpose than the Dockers in this second term. Ryan was good, and they'll see it to the boundary. Well, Brodie up to 13 disposals for the Dockers. Clark with 11. Crisp the best of the Pies with 9. Darcy Cameron working hard. Elliott in there, kicks it straight into Lipinski. Certainly sting a little. And it goes back in to wrestle it out of there. We'll get another stoppage.
Hasn't missed a beat, Jamie Elliott, after the comeback from their really serious shoulder, so that's good news.
And played since round 4 when he hurt that shoulder against West Coast. Pendlebury, Cameron, McCreery, good pickup. Flicks it back to Noble. Quainer under pressure. And Clark is in the road. Full kick there. And short to Collier. Now they're under the pump. Low grabbed up by Myercheck.
Well, from a Collingwood point of view, to be aware of what Freo are doing. So they have identified that they will go short from the back half. So we saw Ginnivan turn one over, saw that ball just land at the feet of the Fremantle player, and they closed really quickly. So now your head's in the game. Okay, let's have a look. They're trying to go short. They will try and use the footy on the way out. Be aware. Let's see if we can get a turnover here.
Shorts crashed through. Nick Dacos was there. Ginnivan a boot to it. Lipinski sending it forward quickly. That's what you've got to do in the wet conditions. Get it forward at all costs, and Hoskin Elliott has taken a mark inside 50 and a chance to line up.
And that's not pretty. That's just forward footy, momentum football. You know, take the contest towards your goal. Forwards playing in front. That's good footy in wet weather.
And Hoskin Elliott has kicked 19 goals 4 across the last 2 seasons. He is a deadly sharpshooter, and he adds another one there for Collingwood, who get a little break.
3 in a row for the Magpies, who I don't think on the surface look to me to be adapting better. They are aware of what Fremantle are trying to do. They've turned the footy over a little bit. You know, from an inside 50 point of view now, they've been able to get the ball inside their most dangerous part of the ground, yet they've had a hell of a lot less footy.
Pressure's good. They've had 30 tackles already, and Fremantle have given those opportunities, and Collingwood, you know, prepared to tackle hard and turn the ball over.
Matthew Pavlich, we've got some injury news.
Oliver Henry has been subbed into the game. He's started in the forward line. You can see him there. Mason Cox, we saw him go down. Went down to the room, straight past us. Didn't think he was in too much trouble, but perhaps there's something much more severe that we will learn about shortly about that finger of his.
Disappointment for Mason Cox. Only getting back into the side, and he's subbed out now with injury. Fremantle have a real challenge here. Collingwood have come to play. And using the conditions well. Brodie, he can extract it. A high kick to half forward. Walters working hard. Noble with him every step of the way. Quainer. Schultz was in there. Adams as well. Ground getting really chopped up. You see the mud as they slide in. Scenes we haven't seen for a long time.
What is safe to say is that this Collingwood effort is, I think, exceptional right now. We knew that Fremantle would respond because we think they're going to be a contender at some stage in the next 12 to 18 months. But Collingwood's effort is superb, I think.
Into the legs went Schultz. That was dangerous. It'll be a free kick to the Pies.
So they're still trying to contested possession, but your eye tells you that they're losing nothing in that department right now.
And Crisp is taking them on. Ginnivan presenting. Ball coming in a bit quick to try and mark. Cox through to Brodie.
Great pressure here.
Excellent pressure from the Magpies. Fremantle trying to hold on, but they cough it up. Side bottom sends it inside 50, but it'll work away into the pocket and out of play.
Guys, it's very noticeable at ground level just how clean Collingwood are. You talk about contested possessions. Well, Freo actually right on top in this game, 18 more at this point in time, but it's their ability to be clean when it matters the most. At this point in time, Collingwood on top, and you're right, they've adjusted better to the conditions.
Loving this forward half pressure too that they're bringing. No easy out here for Freo.
Lob straight down to Brendan Cox. Here's Henry subbed in and trying to have an impact. Mason Cox subbed out of the game. High ball. Hoskin Elliott wanted it. Spills through Brodie. Brown thrown away without it. McCreary got it back to Brown. The Falcon for Myercheck as it ricocheted away. And they play on through Chapman. Walters couldn't handle it. Adams, what a pick up. Back to Henry. Across to Ginnivan. Collingwood lining up, but he had his head just about ripped off by Chapman. And another set shot coming up for the Magpies.
That's bread and butter for Jack Ginnivan. The opportunity there to drive his legs and to force the tackle, to make a good tackle, and Chapman unable to do it. Tyler Brown, we've seen a bit, Craig McRae show his hand already, do a little bit of second ruck work. He's a big-bodied midfielder, 6'3.5". He's probably going to be an inside player for them, but can give Darcy Cameron a chop out.
13 goals across his last 4 games. Jack Ginnivan, this last week with illness. And he's been such a handy goal scorer for the Magpies. And they are bringing the heat in this second term.
It's superb. It's superb from the Magpies. I'm not sure what's wrong with Mason Cox, and I'm not questioning anyone, but it's not the worst substitution to happen in these conditions with Oliver Henry coming back into this side. He's had 2 really important touches, and then Ginnivan does what Ginnivan's capable of doing, drawing a free kick, and the free kick's there, don't worry about that, and then finishing in the manner. This is a really impressive quarter of footy. The first quarter, I thought both teams are really honest. Collingwood have upped the ante here.
Matthew Pavlich, you got any update on Mason Cox?
Yeah, confirmation. It is a finger injury. Just trying to learn exactly how bad it is. Is it broken? Is it a compound fracture? We don't know exactly right now, but he is done for the match with that finger.
8 clearances to 3 in this term. The Magpies have the momentum. The home side under the pump. Crisp. Again, just hacking it forward. Any way they can, Collingwood. Here's Ryan. Lovely step around McCreary. And showing the footy as well to Crisp.
Yeah.
And he just barrels it, just trying to get them going.
It's a different way forward there than they have been going with, perhaps, that's for sure.
Precision. We'll just try to punish it up the field as it goes back for Collingwood. Cox the spoil. Crisp attacks it. Away. Now to Josh Dacos. And he tries to hit the target. Brendan Cox a spoil. Hoskin Elliott kept his feet. Crisp in there. Bumped into by Akers. Chapman there. Such an important stage of this game. Ginnivan. Young left it behind. Through goes Lipinski. Josh Dacos. Crisp can try and hit it. A wobbler to the square, but it'll spill through. And Collier can get back to support. Dangerous ball. Sarong couldn't get there. Collingwood again swarm around them. Away now to Noble. He with a sidestep. And again. Short to Maynard. Couldn't hit it. Now go to Dockers. Banfield out wide. And they don't have anything forward now.
They've got good protection down here, Collingwood, at the moment. Darcy Moore, the deepest defender, so he can't go quick.
Lob will go short. Was away from Taberner. Now did enough. Quainer attacks it. And he'll spread it wide. Tough one for McCreary. Great job by Collier. McCreary's still got it though. And he can scoot away too. And he'll set a high ball up inside the 50. Logue with the spoil. He'll thump it. Hoskin Elliott will get there first. Another inside 50 for the Pies, but Pearce will whack that.
One thing Collingwood have done well, we spoke about them dropping their wingers back a little bit further. Now, they've always got that extra player out deep, and Darcy Moore prevented Fremantle from going forward on that turnover from John Noble.
Darcy able to mark.
Questions being asked here of Fremantle in a big way. Little doubts would be creeping into their minds about their capacity to handle these conditions, given last week would be fresh.
There's so much opportunity at the Suns, but couldn't convert. And now Collingwood are taking it right up to them. High ball goes in. Big packs up. Hits the deck Young. Got sandwiched between 2 or 3.
There you go, right there. There's your story right there of this quarter. Get it in and then do not let it out under any circumstances. Their pressure in the forward half has been elite.
Not known as a contested possession side, Collingwood, but they're winning that stat in this term. Was touched off the boot. Walters won't be given the mark. He had Mundy in support. Neat kick to Frederick.
Again, Darcy Moore deep. Got to go slow.
Fremantle try to find a way forward, but they have to go wide. Sarong. Now to the one-on-one, and Moore so good in that situation.
Yeah, he's just assumed the role back there. I mean, in these conditions here and the way that his team's playing for Darcy, it's manna from heaven, because he sits back, watches it all unfold, and on the odd occasion it comes out, he just makes his adjustment, and Fremantle have to try and go around him.
Darcy wins it down. Young.
We saw that stat just come up on the screen. So the ground balls, gents, and we talked about how clean Collingwood are in these conditions. Well, they're +7 in this second quarter. So contested possession, that's a ground ball get. They're more hungry at the contest, and they're just cleaner.
Mundy couldn't get it out. Crisp just about threw it across. He did. And it'll be a free kick to the Dockers. So a chance for them to go inside 50. And a bit few and far between in this term, off the hands of Banfield, who had Murphy for company. And plenty of questions for Justin Longmuir right now.
That's a great result for Fremantle, just to get a stoppage inside to try and bring their defence forward and lock the ball in their front half.
Cameron with strength. Lipinski. Collier there first, and out of play.
Still, even though we haven't seen Collingwood this year as a contestable side, they're +5 this quarter, and they're dominating clearances as well, up by 5. So that part of the game has stood up. When Fremantle have had dominance there, they've looked good, and vice versa with Collingwood.
Darcy with strength again. Swings it inside 50. Quainer couldn't mark. Murphy off the side of his boot. Won't be the 15. Sarong wanted it. And crashing Lipinski. And it'll be a ball up.
How long can they keep this footy in their half now? Collingwood, when they had it in their half, have been able to score 3 goals, lock it in, make something happen. Can Fremantle do the same?
Lipinski with desperation, trying to get it out. Adams as well, clambering after it. Able to flick it out. And Darcy take it to ground.
So across midfielders, Will Brodie's had 9 clearances. Sean Darcy's had 5, and for Collingwood, Crisp with 5, DeGoey with 5.
Cleared away. Pearce. 3 tackling him again, such as the want of Collingwood in this second term. Crisp out to Lipinski. A handball was back in behind McCreery. That could have been kicking in danger if we saw that earlier. Good tackle it was. And off the play, the umpire pays the holding the ball.
Yeah, I think they were going to pay the guy in the first one. It was a great tackle.
It goes out wide, Frederick. The crowd urging him to go quick. It's long inside 50. Lob in the pocket. Fingertips to it.
+17 ground ball for the quarter, Fremantle. And they lost that as well against Gold Coast. Big number.
Darcy trying to impose himself on those ruck stoppages. Switkowski taking them on. And out of play.
So that big knock forward from Sean Darcy, which went to the Collingwood wingman in Josh Dacos, who dropped back as that sweeping player, not getting caught in under the ball or inside. Prepared to be the first line of defence to come forward there and defend Switkowski, who was on the run.
Coming straight down to Switkowski. Move away the tackle. Tough footy to win in the clinches. Darcy got it up. Mundy quickly on the boot. The veteran trying to produce something, but it's to the near side. Just a tick under 6 minutes to go till the half.
Pretty uncomplicated here. The kick in. All get to one side.
Moore does just that. Lobb had the run at it. Lipinski slapped it on. Clark in and under. Lipinski goes again. Coughed it up to Lobb. Gave the handball to Mundy. Sends it back inside 50. Taberner in a wrestle. Moore the spoil. Collingwood at the spill. Noble holds it in. Ball up.
Great ground ball there by John Noble. I mean, they're the basics of the game that make the difference between defending well or giving the opposition a shot on goal. From 20 metres straight out in front. Good play.
Josh Dacos. Sarong around his body. And Moore again in the right spot. Murphy wants to see it over. He couldn't get it the side of the post he wanted. It'll be a boundary throw.
Better from Freo though. The last 2 minutes, repeat entries, keep it in their half. Just got to keep slogging away in these conditions and try and make something out of nothing.
Locked down that run Collingwood had a bit earlier on in the term. Pies steadfast in defence. Fredericks quick and after it. Didn't take his eyes off the footy. Collier couldn't find a handle initially, though. And it still spills back through his legs. Brown can release Ginnivan. And he'll go for territory. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the Dockers. Henry up to get it away from Ryan. Brodie's handball on the up was excellent to Young, and now Mundy. Brown trying to give the home side a bit of a lift.
Collingwood still got a lot of numbers back in their defensive 50.
Short pass to Ryan. 4.5 to go till the half. Luke Ryan's just going to lay it up into the pocket. Darcy's there. Cameron. Excellent defensive mark.
Fantastic mark. Just takes the pressure off. Like, even if that ball gets to the ground, Freo's ability to try and lock in and make something happen. Take the mark, pressure release, get it out of their defensive 50.
Darcy Cameron goes wide. Young.
And he answers.
There's the rain. What rain?
It's dried up all of a sudden.
It's that grip on the ball, mate.
That's it.
Hayden Young. What a snatch at that time as he rockets it back in. Off the hands, Darcy. Walters in the pocket. Hooks it back dangerously. Howe will be paid the mark.
Well, and the aerial stuff, it has come back into the game, hasn't it? And it's clear that the rain has abated a little. And it does change the game a little. If you're able to, the aerialists are able to get involved, whether they're in front or behind the ball.
Well, that's their 9th inside 50. They've only given up 2 points for the quarter, the Pies. So they'll be thrilled with that.
Noble. Long up the boundary line. Myercheck almost. Set forward by Hoskin Elliott. Races on here for Henry, trying to knock it through. Elliott as well. Numbers went out for Fremantle. Clark. Chapman. He just blasts it away. It's all with Collingwood, though. Josh Dacos back. He'll give it back to Fremantle. Clark, though, couldn't trap it. Pendlebury clean to Henry. Open forward line. Elliott's out the back. It's just hit a little bit too much towards Young. And Lowe can get across. Get him in a good tackle. Good pressure again from Collingwood. Young stole it out of Elliott's hands. Collier, he's trying to get clear. It's such a battle out there right now. Murphy carried forward. He earned the free kick. And you had to draw it. It'll be a free to the Pies on 50.
They're on. The Magpies are on. That was that forward pressure again. Ball got over the back. Space over the back was dangerous. They had a 2-on-1 Fremantle. And then the support came. Ginnivan got there. DeGoey got there. Elliott was there. And now, as a result of the pressure, they get another shot at goal.
They'll take the best effort from here. With a wet footy. He's only kicked one through his career. The defender, so he lays it up to the hot spot. Dangerous area. Young was in there. Adams went through with the boot. Ginnivan down low. Mundy with his head over it. Brayshaw clears away. And Walters, excellent mark. Going with the flight in these conditions. Aish. Get it back. Brendan Cox. Now Brayshaw. Goals have been tough to come by for the home side in this second term. Schultz trying to use the body. Was able to bring it down. Brodie. Banfield. Great pressure again from the Pies. And Maynard lays another strong tackle.
And that was Collingwood's 40th or 50th tackle for the half. And, you know, that's on 100 tackle pace. These conditions welcome it. But that's still a great effort. High pressure from Collingwood.
Huge number. 50 tackles already in the game. A little bit more rain falling now as we approach half-time. Cox spoils it down. It's slippery for the players to try and keep their feet. Hoskin Elliott just skids away from him and out of play.
It's really controlled the flow of play for the most part since they were 2-1 down halfway through that first quarter. They've kicked the last 4. They've dominated field position, contested ball clearance. All the things that you need to do well to control a wet weather game of footy.
Still expecting some scattered showers through the second half of this match. And Collingwood have just played the conditions better. The side bottom tumbles it forward. Elliott, he's tackled and holding the ball.
Young's really stood up. He's had a strong last 10 minutes. Yeah, they've had a little bit of work to do this quarter compared to the first. And a couple of nice marks, nice touches, some composure at ground level. Good play.
8 games for the season this afternoon for Hayden Young. Equal most he's been able to get in a season so far. He's battled some injuries through his short time at the club. +6 disposals on average this season for Hayden Young. Fremantle like the ball in his hands, particularly when the conditions are dry. A little harder out there today. Lipinski sockers it forward. Henry couldn't have it. Now Chapman is able to get past a couple. Sukowski, neat thinking to get it out to Brayshaw. Here is Young. He tries to poke it up towards Lobb, but side bottom did enough in front to disrupt.
Once again, side bottom, the sweeping winger for Collingwood, playing a little deeper on the skinny side of the field, which gives some depth to your defence. You look long, you can see Darcy Moore or a Jeremy Howe at the back go shorter, and you get the kick cut off, as we saw then.
They show over the top of the footy. Lipinski able to steal it away. Pendlebury and DeGoey. Both teams looking forward to half-time. A lot of effort and energy taken out in conditions like this.
You can see still side bottom on the screen there how deep he is as that sweeping winger. Fremantle not biting on it, trying to keep even numbers in front of the ball.
Darcy will just go himself, send it inside 50. Myercheck back there helping out as it's socket forward. Schultz is after it. Murphy will want to clear it away as he slips over. It's back now with Moore. Fremantle putting the pressure on late in the term. Brodie back to Mundy. They need to go quickly as the siren sounds to end the quarter. One that well and truly belonged to the Magpies. Collingwood have come to play, try to cause a big upset on a Sunday afternoon in the West. Wet conditions. Collingwood know just how to play them. Half-time, back with all the analysis on just what the Magpies are doing to have themselves in front. At half-time, it's Collingwood by 17 points. Trusting the contest ahead of the play. One of the key messages from Justin Longmuir heading into this second half. There is the injury concern for Collingwood with Mason Cox, who's injured his finger. I think this is exactly where it happened, reaching up and yet immediately reaching for that one in the ruck. Nathan Buckley, looks like it's stung a fair bit for the Collingwood ruckman.
Yeah, well, whilst that isn't great for Mason, it probably hasn't hurt Collingwood if they can find that second ruck roll in, and if Tyler Brown can at least put his body on the line there. It doesn't hurt their ground level prospects and their capacity to put pressure on the opposition. 51 tackles, as we highlighted. It brings an elite pressure to the opposition. And Justin Longmuir there saying, Bridesy around their ball use, they need to trust the contest more and go forward.
Third quarter underway, and it starts the way we've seen a fair bit of it so far, with an immediate contest and a stoppage. Collingwood's tackling has been fantastic so far through this clash as Adams sends it forward. Pearce leading Myercheck to it. Struggling to fight it at their feet. Bit of tunnel ball from Myercheck. Spills to Mundy. He's looked cleaner than most in these conditions. A kick by Akers. A high one. Walters going back, but a terrific mark taken by Darcy Moore.
So you're going to trust the contest ahead of the ball. You need the contest to at least be halved. That's a fantastic mark from Darcy, but you've got to get the message to Tabernet. That has to come to ground.
Moore's kick. Darcy makes the contest opposed to Cameron. Here's Adams, up smothered off the boot by Brendan Cox. It spills inside 50 for the Pies. Elliott out to meet it. And now Sarong can get it out to Aish, but he's shown a fair bit of it to side bottom, who's got Ginnivan in support. Back for side bottom from outside 50. Just that dangerous kick in, but Brayshaw's back to help.
And he needs to lift this man. We've got great things about him. He's right up in Brownlow Medal contention, Coaches Award and all those different measurements. He needs to lift. Brayshaw.
I loved his honesty at half-time. He just said, look, they want it more than us, and we've got to turn it around if we're any chance of winning this game.
Averaging 30 touches a game. Andrew Brayshaw's got the 11 right now. Darcy Cameron takes a nice mark.
So 2 intercepts straight up. That's a concern for Freo. Justin Longmuir saying we want to take territory. We want to trust. Well, we can't trust if Collingwood continue to take intercept marks.
Cameron wobbles one inside 50. Kicks to his opposite ruckman in Darcy. Young, Brayshaw, Lipinski, Schultz. Back for Brendan Cox. Now Akers. They have to go to the one-on-one up the line. Tabata and Moore. Moore's played that contest so well and sees it to the line again.
That was better from Matt Taberner. Yes, he didn't take the mark, but at least he got ball side of his opponent. The last two times watching that matchup, more was just ball side, and so it makes it a lot easier to get first access to it and in fact mark it, as he has on a number of occasions. So better from Taberner. But as you said, guys, if they're going to go forward and take that contest on, they need that honest contest.
Adams to Pendlebury. And now Crisp, a bit of room to send it inside 50. It's over the head of Elliott, but he turns thinking it would go over the back. He ran out of room, though. Otherwise, he was possibly away onto goal.
One thing to keep an eye on is where the Fremantle ruckman goes. We see what Melbourne with their double rucks, they really challenge forward of the ball and they provide an aerial target. I think the Darcy probably is used to change direction and change the angle in the back half rather than be an aerial target forward, which is an adjustment they may need to make in the second half.
He's rucking there against Myercheck. No Mason Cox out there. Side bottom tried to just hack it forward. Ryan into the path of Brayshaw. Gaining some territory. Murphy did nicely. Side bottom got it below his knees. Nick Dacos will share it 1-2 with side bottom. Now straighten things up for Collingwood. Dockers have got Darcy Camp back there. Knocked down Myercheck through the hands of Clark. De Goey got the arms clear and he tried to take them on. Allowed to play. Darcy gets the kick away. Frederick in between three. Couldn't mark. Switkowski. He goes back in to try and win it.
So two great efforts from Frederick there, as you called it, perhaps 1 against 3, and then Elliott down the other end was against big Darcy. Had gone back into the hole. He had Brennan Cox around him, and Pearson still was able to halve the contest.
Frederick again going in. Brayshaw taken to ground by Adams. Adams going for a second and third time. Someone's just throwing up. Spills to Aish. He's trying to get it through to Switkowski. Pendlebury laid the tackle. Lob overran it. Allowing Howe to Nick Dacos to Maynard. And he can pull the trigger on the kick through the corridor. Young back to get it, as was Lipinski.
Yeah, it's a great kick, isn't it, from Maynard? Didn't have to change stride. He had Young right next to him. Hits him on the chest.
Lipinski thought he's going to ignore the wide one initially. Finds Josh Dacos.
Big hole here.
Elliott scooting into that space. Pierce rolling off to man him up as the kick goes deeper instead to make the Dockers defenders nervous as Hoskin Elliott over the top plugs a neat grab directly in front of goal.
Well, they had one-on-ones, Bucks. I mean, I talked about the hole because there was no one coming off to fill the hole because they all had responsibility for an opponent, so no one helping out in the air, and that was just a big hang from Hoskin Elliott.
Will Hoskin Elliott directly in front. He sends it through, and Collingwood continue on their way, extending their gap to start the third quarter.
That's a fantastic finish with that mark, but this bloke, Taylor Adams, in the first 3 or 4 minutes of this third quarter, he's come out and he's maintained the rage. His work around stoppages, whether it's been to surge through on a loose ball or to put pressure on, has set the benchmark for his teammates to go again. And just that kick to the top of goal square. And Will Hoskin Elliott doesn't have to get many touches to hurt. That's his second goal today. Great finish, great pluck.
Just look really comfortable now. So if Fremantle win the footy and do go forward, they're so well set up behind with it. And that was how that in the first 3 or 4 minutes was able to just drop the 15 or 20 metres behind. And then they got honest representation ahead of the ball as well. So right on their terms here, Collingwood.
5 inside 50s to zip in this quarter. Almost a 6th as Henry up to meet it. It's locked in by Brennan Cox.
You can see James Aish there in your screen. He's gone into the centre square bounce. So Justin Longmuir at half-time in that interview talked about changing a few things in around the stoppage. Aish into the middle.
Darcy down. Brown with a high kick. Henry to the front. Cox the spoil. Chapman taking them on. Just got it away in the nick of time. Kick out to half-back. Noble. Schultz got an important hand in there. And it's away to the line.
Josh Dacos didn't get to that loose ball, but he was the first one on it. He was the outnumber as a wingman who actually sat in behind the play to help set up that defence through the middle of the field. At the moment, Fremantle can't make any inroads into their front half because they can't get the ball past halfway through Collingwood's defence.
Here is Aish up around the ball. It's in between the legs of Darcy Cameron.
It's like there's a manic competitiveness about Collingwood, though. There's just a look in each of their eyes. They've committed to one another. They've got no passengers. They've all been absolutely ferocious at the footy.
Brown gets it out to Adams, who's really leading the way for the Magpies. Logue fists the ball to the line.
And Collingwood fans would say, well, why haven't we had that for the last 4 weeks? It's because they're still relatively young. They're still relatively learning the process, and they're not the best team in the comp because they don't do it week in and week out.
Top end talent helps. Pendlebury comes back in. Elliott comes back in. We're seeing some A-graders that are coming back in and play the way they play.
Losses to the Tigers and Bulldogs the last couple of weeks for the Magpies certainly come to play this afternoon. The Dockers have been unable to get that free-flowing ball movement they love so much. But a better chain here. Banfield.
They came inside, now they've gone back outside. It's this behind-the-ball defence, and now they're back inside. Look a little bit lost.
Chapman will try and switch things up. Logue. Out wide. Ryan. Everyone was closing quickly, and now they'll play on. Clark will try and use his dash. Good pressure, Myercheck. The high kick goes in. Lobb attacks it. Knocks it down to Aish. Across now to Brodie. He snaps to goal. And Freo finally find a way through.
It's a great goal in the end. No, I'm not sure whether that's the way they're going to try and play for the rest of the quarter, going inside and outside, but they got the contest ahead of the ball. So once they've been, well, one of the few times they got past centre, this contest here, that's all you need. And then they're front and square from Aish. Pav Toldis has gone into the middle, so that's a fantastic result straight up. We'll watch whether or not they're going to continue this to go inside out. I thought they would have kept going once they got to the middle. In the end, they got there, and they got the result that they haven't had for a while.
Freo still looking to change angles in their back half on that one, but then speeding up when they got the ball halfway into their forward half. So that capacity to get that overlap handball to Clark. It wasn't a great kick inside 50, but they did trust the contest, and Rory Lobb was able to bring that to ground. They got a good finish.
Freo's first goal since the 14-minute mark of the first term, and now maybe it's just gone up a couple of notches after they were able to break through. Pendlebury up towards Elliott, didn't make great contact. Chapman taking them on, just offered it his way through Lipinski. Out to Brayshaw, he's finding a bit more of it. Schultz couldn't take it. Dacos close, and they're all crashing in now. Taverner kept it moving. Howe just tumbling the ball, but it works perfectly. It's falling the Magpies' way. Cameron to Pendlebury, delays it to De Goey. Open forward line, Collingwood. Henry was there. Great effort by Brennan Cox. The sprawl just in the nick of time. The danger's still there. Pearce to Cox, getting fancy with their handballs in the wet. They're living dangerously, but they'll escape out of their defensive 50. But maybe only momentarily.
It's really opened up, hasn't it? And you can see Fremantle responding now too, so it's a real contest.
Give credit to James Aish too. A couple of moments, he's gone in the middle, they asked for a lift, he's had a couple of influences.
Josh Dacos drives long. Henry!
And they've been able to mark the footy. That is one thing against this Fremantle team that opposition sides have had a lot of trouble with. Once they go inside, he's been able to mark the ball. They've been a fantastic defence, but Hoskin Elliott earlier. Now you've got Henry, who's come on as the sub for Cox. Gets the chance.
Had all sorts of problems with his accuracy in the last game. No such issues right there. Subbed into the game and making an impact. Oliver Henry.
And that's a really good response from Collingwood, because you could see in that last sort of 60 to 90 seconds that Fremantle had found a little bit more energy, that they'd found the capacity to go forward. They kicked that goal. There was some really good contests through the middle of the field, but Collingwood have, they're up to the challenge, and they faced that bit of intensity from Freo and responded in kind. Really good mark there from Ollie Henry. That's his one wood to take the ball at its highest point, and great finish.
Taking 4 marks inside their forward 50. That doesn't sound a lot, but in these conditions, when you're able to convert 2 of them into goals, as they have in these last 2, just worth their weight.
Margin back out to 23. He's back in the middle. Pendlebury can get past Brodie. Open things up to De Goey. Cleverly tapping it on into the path of Brown. He's got Lipinski there as well. Feeds it forward to Henry. Back out to side bottom. looking for an option, sizing them up. Hoskin Elliott almost. Collier was there, and then Mundy can go short to Chapman.
Pendlebury in the centre square, just his experience now starting to have an impact.
Up the wing. Rising high and simply breathtaking. He can do it in all conditions.
It's like shelling peas, really.
Jeremy Howe.
Bucks doesn't get excited. He said it that often. The rest of us do. He's the best high mark ever.
And Hoskin Elliott tries to fly as well. Out to it, Banfields. And now Mundy controls it to Taberner. We'll get a few replays of that, I'm sure.
We need the ball to go out of bounds so we can see it again, perhaps. It was an absolute beauty.
Just the hang time, and now the turnover. And as my check marks at 55 from goal.
Doesn't need an invitation, checkers. Oh, well done.
Going short. Who was inviting. Instead, the player to come at him in Lipinski was able to bob up.
It's a huge kick because the mistake over on the halfback from the Fremantle player, he kicked it into the man on the mark. So once you've done that, you almost should concede a goal. And I mean, when it's out to 23 points and you've only kicked 3 goals for the game, this is massive for Paddy Lipinski.
9 games for the Bulldogs last year. Patrick Lipinski goes past that today. His 10th for the Pies after being traded. And from right on 50, close to the man on the mark. In fact, hooks it all the way out of play. So we get another look at jumping Jezza.
Awesome.
They're as excited as you can get as a coach, Bucks. You're not allowed to throw your hands in the air.
You can get more excited than that, but there's a game to win.
Just a little nod. That'll do. One of the great highlights we've seen this season.
It's like, yeah, we expected that.
It's going to take a bit of beating, I reckon.
It's just the sit that he gets. Jeremy Howe is always so good, particularly with the wet footy.
This quarter, Collingwood have had the ball for 90% in their front half. You know, Fremantle went forward to kick that goal, but outside of that, they have not made a sortie forward. 7 inside 50s to 1.
89% time in forward half for the Pies.
12 to 1.
It's Mundy loses his footing and slides over the line.
You've got to get the NBN sorted. You're a bit slow there, Bucks.
It looks like it. Once again, off the back of clearance and contest, and since the early part of that second quarter, Collingwood have dominated those 2 aspects of the contest.
Jeremy Howe loose behind the footy now again. If Fremantle do win this ball at this stoppage.
Brody up to Mundy. We had Clark there in support. Again, the tackling pressure from the Pies. Mundy went underground to get it to Sarong, who did similar to get it to Lobb. And now the handball from Freo is working out. They pick their way through. They find some space with Schultz. They want Frederick long over the back. The kick goes in. Frederick's up. Couldn't mark. Pies at ground level. Moore to Noble. Shows a clean pair of heels to Akers, and then up the line it skids through.
But Justin Longmuir is going to look at that and say, boys, we've got to be better than that. We've gone to the boundary side there in our forward 50, and we can't lay a tackle.
What Collingwood are doing is their fat side wingers going back and basically playing as a defender. And that allows Jeremy Howe to play loose down the line on his own, whilst the fat side winger is playing as a halfback.
Sarong sends it in. Taberner there. Moore with another big spoil. Frederick trying to find Schultz. Banfield was just backing behind Switkowski. And then Sarong. He's wrapped up and held.
So effectively what they're saying to Fremantle is you can go sideways. We'll give you the sideways one to your winger who's pretty much unmanned. But you can't go forward. We're going to take the extra number down the line.
Off the pack. Akers found a handball to Brody.
It's Travis Collier as well. Bucks, you talk about that winger. So Sidebottom's the one getting back, allowing Howe to free up. And Collier's effectively by himself. And you're right, they're sort of asking for Howe to go sideways and not play with penetration.
Well, Nick Dacos with the mistake.
And it's great analysis. So in the end, Justin Longmuir says at half-time, we've got to take territory. We've got to trust down the line more. So from whether Collingwood were aware of that or not, or anticipated that, then they're allowing what's happening. So Sidebottom lose Collier, frees up Jeremy Howe.
Cameron down to the front. Freo locking it inside their forward 50. There's Collier.
They're going to make something happen, the Dockers. So 8 minutes to go in this third term. They've only kicked 3. They've got to get some excitement, momentum. They've got to get the crowd involved. I know that's very basic analysis, but find a way to hit the scoreboard here and get some excitement, because right now they've got every answer, Collingwood.
Good hands from the Pies. The turnover comes. Young thought about going back through the middle. He's off his line, so has to go. He'll just pump it long back inside 50. Taberner was pushing and shoving, but Darcy Cameron again intercepting in defence.
Very good aerial, Darcy. When he sees them well, and when he's taken a couple, he often continues on with the job. 5
intercept marks this quarter to Collingwood, so the ability to get the footy back on their terms here.
Not 15, so Dacos has to go. Back for Noble. Run and carry up towards Myercheck. And some holding going on. Myercheck will get the free kick. Brody up to 27 disposals. Mundy 25. No player at Collingwood over 20 just yet. Crisp has got the 19. They're just so much more efficient. They have been so far, the Pies, as Brendan Cox intercepts.
38 less disposals, perhaps, but obviously far greater effect. Being able to go inside 50 38 times to 26 at this point of the game.
Ryan, Sarong. Back for Ryan. And back for Collier. Now Pearce trying to straighten things up. Excellent pressure again. Chris trying to drag him down. Brody's trying to get clear. Myercheck was desperate. Long kick. Taberner. How affected it? It's with Lob. Over the top to Walters. Tackle without it though by Plainer. And it'll be a free kick to the Dockers.
It's one of the first times the Dockers have been even numbers in front of the ball, and it's actually forced an error in regards to that tackle from Isaac Quainer.
Walters goes in short. He finds Schultz.
Well, thrown in a few one-on-one wins too in their forward half for the quarter as well. So this is what we're talking about. When you haven't got many, and you haven't had many opportunities, you just got to take them and try and generate some sort of momentum. And the irony of this is that the way they played early is the way they're going to have to play if they get out of it, because conservative down the line footy right now isn't really working for them.
Career best numbers this season, Lachie Schultz, averaging 1.5 goals a game for Fremantle. I'd love him to find one here, but it's near side. 3-6 for the Dockers. 7-3 for the Magpies. They're going to have to use every opportunity they get. The margin at 21. Lob. And they'll spike it down. Mundy weaving his way through. We've seen him do so often. High ball in. Murphy attacked it, as did Banfield. Pendlebury, Crisp. Now Lipinski just controlling it up the wing. Brendan Cox able to knock it down, and then a high tackle. Ginnivan just working harder to get there and earns a free kick, and he wants to get himself in a bit of a tangle.
He's got to get better. You know, the competition knows the way he plays. You got to get better when he's set the tackles.
Ginnivan sent it to a pretty congested half-forward line. Brown was trying to leap from the side.
Those tackle numbers we gave you at half-time, though, from the Collingwood point of view, it's continued on in this third quarter. So if it's, I mean, you'd be staggered if it wasn't a focus. They laid 51, 68 their highest for the year. They've laid another 15-7 this quarter. So what's that? They're up around 66.
After a dominance in possession this quarter, still laying 15 tackles.
The ball off hands. Elliott there. Josh Dacos hacks it forward, and Young with good hands again, and he wants to release. Get it out to Frederick. He's got Collier riding out wide.
Still one-on-one ahead of the footy, whether they're prepared to go or not.
They're still searching for the best option forward. It's short. Banfield.
Tyler Brown in the ruck currently, and he's down the line for Collingwood as their ruckman.
A long kick from Banfield in towards Taberner. It's a 2-on-1. Darcy weighted down, feeds it through to Walters. Couldn't get it past Moore. Now the pickup. Now to Crisp. And Collingwood out of defence with composure by Lipinski.
And not the same pressure in Fremantle's half as there is at the other end of the ground. When Fremantle defenders get the footy, they've got someone presenting, a Collingwood player presenting in their face or chasing him down from behind. Whereas Freo's forward half haven't been able to get a finger on their defenders.
And it has been their trademark this year. Freo, you know, #1 pressure side in the AFL, Gaz, but over the past 2 weeks, have just been going into their forward line and coming straight back out. So these small forwards, and they need to get to work, but the delivery, the composure piece in terms of getting the right option inside 50 first and a bit of competition in the air needs to happen as well.
Noble long, Brown flying again. And we get it at ground level. Lipinski over the top. McCreary could be away if it sits up for him. He feeds it over the top, but it's short of Henry. Clark to Chapman. And he'll go through the middle of the ground. It's a long kick over the top for Walters.
Frederick out.
He's right out the back, but the kick was a shocker as it went forward. Frederick was all by himself inside 50, but Collingwood survived.
Cannot buy one at the moment, the Dockers. They finally looked like they were going to find some space. As you said, Frederick had broken at the right time, and they get the kick spoiled.
The side bottom goes instead to Adams. Danger with Clark cutting across to Lipinski to knock it away. Golden chance go begging for Fremantle, who would love to creep a little bit closer before the three-quarter time siren.
Just Jeremy Howe's been huge in the last 5 or 6 minutes when there's been work to do across half-back, and the other one's Jack Crisp. He just gets back to that back half. He's had 22 touches, 7 clearances, 3 of them centre bounce, and leads all comers with 13 contested possessions across the field.
And he had the flu all week.
Yeah, he'll keep coming.
It seemed to have affected him so much. It'll be a free kick here to Walters. Keep that streak going for Jack Crisp.
Well, they're set up for the change of direction here. They've got all free players on the other side of the ground, yet go conservative down the line.
They'll try and take it on with a handball as Collier got the 1-2. A little bit more direct. Switkowski brought it down to Banfield. Howe with a good tackle and holding the ball.
That's, again, symptomatic of what we've seen all day. The tackle pressure's been elite.
Jeremy Howe's 9th touch this quarter.
It's just so obvious to the buy-in from the whole group. You know, you watch lots of footy and you see, you know, some tackle, you see half tackle. What's been really obvious is just complete buy-in from Collingwood today to that aspect.
Brown trying to launch again and doing some ruck work with Mason Cox subbed out of the game earlier on.
And absolutely led by the leaders. Jeremy Howe, we spoke about Tay Adams earlier. Scott Pendlebury, who's been going through the midfield all game. Jack Crisp, still side bottoms, probably playing close to his best game for the year. We're seeing all of the Collingwood leaders come to the fore.
Darcy winning it down. Side bottom to Adams. De Goey wrestling with Young. He's able to spill it through. Crisp continues to run, but Logue in front. Hands to it. He'll have to go again at ground level. He put the forearm up on De Goey, and holding the ball is the call. Trying to fend off. As soon as you do that and take them on, you're in trouble, and De Goey will get the free kick.
Let's go back to the boundary, or the ball up on the boundary throw-in. It's Darcy against Tyler Brown. Darcy's always winning the ball, taps it straight to Collingwood numbers, where side bottom gets the footy and kicks the ball back in. So they've lost all their shape around a stoppage. They've lost communication, and this could be almost a nail.
As soon as you feel that's determined as your prior, as De Goey goes long, they compete right on the line, but it's across the face. Dockers fans breathe a sigh of relief. Collingwood would have been so handy for them close to three-quarter time if they'd converted there. We see a goal either way in the final minute and a half of this third term. Switkowski up. Noble involved. Akers taking them on. Now to play again.
It's probably a question worth asking for Fremantle in the mix of this last 6 or 7 quarters. Is their brand of football a dry weather brand of football? I mean, it's probably a little bit early to go, but there are going to be winter months, and how do they go over the next 6 weeks? How do they adjust their game style? It's been so effective in the early rounds into the winter months.
The man we just saw would certainly help around the stoppages when he gets back. Nat Fyfe expected to return possibly within 2 weeks. The Dockers have got Nam next week in Melbourne, and they've got the Brisbane Lions over here, which might be the more likely match that he comes back for.
So big tests to come. They've dropped the game to Gold Coast. They've come up against a ferocious Collingwood, and they haven't got answers right now.
So free kick.
Just see up on the top of screen there, Aisha's gone all the way with still side bottom to try and even up these numbers in the forward half.
It's up to Lobb, but Hoskin Elliott will just belt it back up the ground. Darcy almost took it as he fell to ground. Collingwood, though, if they get out the back, there's plenty of space inside 50. They feed it back. Ginnivan looks up. punches it long. Freo got some numbers back, and Young taking a neat defensive mark.
Yeah, they had a 3-on-2, and Taylor Adams asking the question, was he illegally denied the right to jump at the footy?
I'm glad you're allowed to ask the question still. That's good.
Long.
That's a good point.
Sarong after it. Let's get Elliott in there.
He was doing his best Michael Jordan impersonation with his arms out there.
He was just checking for rain, I reckon.
Well, they've been superb. Collingwood have been superb. And as I said, half-time to you, your teams would go over here to Western Australia, backs against the wall, and perform, you know, so well over many, many periods. And they're doing it again right here. Just really comfortable. Look like they've set themselves for a massive effort, and for 3 quarters, it's come us that way.
Knocked it on. Half chance here up towards the 50. Any players overrunning it. Nick Dacos kept it in. Back for Quaynor, who recovered. And the Magpies have got some numbers out on the wing.
That's a great result. A little bit Harlem Globetrotter stuff deep in defence. Get him to 3-quarter time.
Brown with the footy in his hands. And another impressive quarter from the Collingwood Magpies. As we turn for home, Collingwood on the brink of a huge upset coming across to the west. And they lead it at 3-quarter time by 22 points.
What have Fremantle got to do to get themselves back in?
Well, we saw it for that 3 or 4 minutes. You know, about 5 minutes into that quarter where there was a little bit more fight, there was a little bit more go. You need to do it from the inside out. So that little circle contest, they're either sticking tackles or they're winning the ball. If you don't match Collingwood there, you can't get back in this game.
Final quarter underway. The Dockers will be so desperate for the 4 points to try and lock themselves in the top 4, but Collingwood keeping right in touch with the 8 if they can hang on and win here. Who's going to land the first goal of this final term? As this one's set towards the boundary line. The bounce will be important. The whistle will be just as important, and it'll go back to Freo.
What a great summation, though, there. Flip it round, keep it moving, have the runners from behind, and yet Tyler Brown was able to still chase and get a fingernail on. It was a great response.
And that'll come up in the review, because it's those efforts that maintain the pressure on the opposition.
Now, Freo got to go. They've got to keep going.
Brayshaw's aware of that. He drives it long. Murphy to spoil. Walters weighted down. Quaynor got a boot on it. It's gone out on the full. So Walters will get it from the tight angle.
On his preferred side.
You can try and open it up, Michael Walters.
I mean, we've got some skillful players in the competition, but this is a 7, 8 out of 10 for a player like Sun.
Michael Walters is so skillful, playing in the jumper that he designed. An Indigenous round, he will love that. And is it the spark to get Fremantle back up and firing?
It's the perfect, for the game, it's the perfect response. Not if you're a Pie supporter, of course, but this is what they've got to do. This is, and a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortuitous luck comes into play, and then you've got to have the skill to finish, which he has. So, you saw in that first passage, share it around in the middle of the grounds. Quick hands, and then Clark come running from behind off half-back to give him some support.
You had to have it in your hands first, so they've got to keep doing that. If they don't win the footy first, they're not going to give themselves that opportunity. So the intent was right.
So whoever's playing on Clark as a half-forward's got to be aware that they're going to take risks. They're going to play off. They're going to, again, Butch is right, win it at the source.
Well, they're doing it there. The contested possession looks good, but they've got to buffer Collingwood's pressure when they do that.
Collingwood trying to get the clearance. Pendlebury's kick was charged down. The energy just lifting for the home side as Aish got it from Switkowski. Walters creating a path. Frederick knocked it back to him. Michael Walters stands up in the tackle, still dancing. But Collingwood through Murphy. He'll send it back up the ground. Bounce crucial again. Adams, he'll get the run at it. Not much forward, so he turns back to Lipinski. Now Collingwood can go up towards the 50. And Brown working hard will mark.
Well, they've got answers, haven't they? So Fremantle crowd want to get involved, but they've just got answers. Take some heat out of it.
Well, there was a breakdown by Fremantle because Taylor Adams, as a midfielder, was +1 forward of the ball and not covered by a Fremantle player.
A long kick by Adams to the hot spot. Akers is up. Degoe waiting for it, but go to Aish and then to Pearce. A little unsure where to go. Brayshaw. Akers. That high up and under kick to the wing, and Maynard played it so well.
Played brilliantly. He's won nearly every one-on-one, and when he puts when he's on song, he just puts mass pressure on the opposition when needed to in that Collingwood back half.
How important is it though when they kick the first goal looking for momentum and you stop them halfway?
Side bottom in. Mychek trying to eat, but Pearce sends it out of play.
And we're up and about at the moment because you can see the games. If Fremantle are going to make a run at it, it has to happen in the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And they need to maintain this rage. Now, if it's simply giving themselves a couple of opportunities and not allowing Collingwood to score, well, then that keeps the game in the balance.
Margin 16. The goals have been so hard to come by. They tap down, side bottom. The kick skewed in the wrong direction. Schultz try to help it. Cameron ducked his head to gather. Now Nick Dacos to Quainer. Out the side bottom. Wide ball, Elliott on a long searching lead.
I'm liking this composure though from Collingwood, finding targets, not putting the ball in motion.
Kick down deep, but Mychek, it's out of play.
Hard place to rebound the ball from deep in a forward pocket.
Well, in that contested circle, there's winning it and then there's putting pressure on the opposition. Now, Collingwood have been really clean when they've had their chance to win it, so maybe they don't have to win as many contested possessions because they're in and gone, whereas Fremantle haven't been able to do it as cleanly, so they've had to go again and again and again.
Darcy in front. Down for Pearce. Henry's tackle was good. Lipinski and kick across. Brown again competes, but it'll be a behind.
This kick-in might give us an insight to where their mind's at. See how aggressive they want to be here, Fremantle. They've got it back to 17 points, which doesn't seem a lot, not in the modern game, but today, or in this game, it does.
Well, it's over half what they've scored today.
It's a scenario for Luke Ryan as he decides to go to half-back. Pearce in the air. Oh, he's almost tunnelled underneath. He got a push. He came up to meet it. He landed very awkwardly. He's okay and to his feet. And Freo want to get it and go. Clark to Lowe. And Lowe's going to take them on with the fence. Just got past McCreary. Aisha's under the pump. And again, Collingwood just swarm and overwhelm. And they get the run and the dash back in the other direction. McCreary long. The turnover costly. Henry marks in the square. They could have gone on with it. Tremendous pressure again from the Pies. And they sweep it up the field. And Henry will shoot from the square.
Just the frontal pressure there was brilliant. First Bo McCreary, but the big play there was Braden Maynard, who closed down James Aishan, forced that turnover to go back and give Ollie Henry the chance.
Just as Freo try to hit back, it's the Magpies who have all the answers at Optus Stadium. Henry's got two.
Ask the question, get the answer. And hey, you can't have a crack at Lowe. He takes it on. McCreary's able to stand up, and then you're right, Maynard comes up hard, ball turned over. So that just takes energy out. And all it does is reaffirm to Collingwood, hey, do what we've been doing, we win the game. And it is so good to watch. And Fremantle have got to do the right thing. They know they've got nothing happening, so you try and take it on, but it comes back in your face in spades, and Henry's able to get behind and kick a goal out to 22 points again. 23 in actual fact.
Answered all challenges, haven't they, to date? And it's been a consolidated team performance across the majority of the match.
Pies have lost their last 3 against Fremantle. They're in such a great position with 16 minutes to go. The Dockers finally get some forward momentum out of the centre square as Clark goes for distance. Lob there one-on-one with Howe. Murphy socket away. It just bypassed Akers. Ginnivan will steady things up. Right. Composure on show again.
Great composure.
Degoe over the top for Lipinski. Back in turn for Josh Dacos. They're in no rush, Collingwood. Pick up the line. Henry dropped out of the team. Got a reprieve as the sub, and he's had some time to make an impact.
He's been lively. He looks like he wants to be the man in the contest, which hasn't always been the case for the young fellow.
Kick long. Darcy best position. Flicked it to Clark. Now Ryan. A 2-on-2. Big battle to be won. Moore and Taberner. Maynard and Frederick. Collingwood come up good again. Hoskin Elliott trapped it. Now to going. Always so lethal inside 50. But just not this time.
Yeah, actually played a lot of good games on this particular ground too, Geordie. Match-winning performances. He's only had the 2 shots on goal for the 2 points, but 10 contested possessions, 7 clearances. He was really going early in the game to get his team going in the first quarter.
Chapman's long kick. Taberner over the back. Able to retrieve it. Noble's strong tackle on Brennan Cox. They just keep getting forced wider and wider and over the line. 75 tackles for the Pies on the evenings, the most they've had this season.
They haven't had a moment to find any space. They haven't had a moment to get overlap run. They haven't had a moment to take easy hit-up marks on a lead. Collingwood have denied them space and time and just maintained pressure from the word go. And there's another example of it right there.
Holding the ball, the call, and Collingwood are away again as Josh Dacos drives it long and it lands with Henry.
Well, I know Mason Cox would be just thrilled. He'd be over the moon for the team and the way that they're playing and the fact that, you know, they're going, looks highly likely they're going to win. And he's got a bad finger injury, which meant he was subbed out. But it works for Collingwood. As brutal as that sound, it works for the Magpies because this lad is a sub and he came on and, you know, with the way the weather is and the conditions, he's been lively. And he has a chance to kick his second goal.
3 behinds last week in front of goal. He struggled with his set shots, but he is right on song this evening. Oliver Henry with 3 goals.
Second goal for the quarter, third for the game, which is just outstanding. And so that's another example of things falling into place. And there, that there sums up everything we said. Is that I think it was Cameron on Brayshaw.
Tackle, yeah, yeah, Ollie Henry is an aerialist and has come into the game when the rain subsided as well, which has helped him. But being able to attack the ball at the highest point. But here you see Collingwood's best attacking efforts have come from their best defensive efforts, and we haven't seen that from Freo.
So put this down in your highlight package right there. Is that the biggest? I think he's almost the biggest man. Cameron lays a tackle on Brayshaw on centre wing and dispossesses him. They go down, kick a goal. Sums the game up right there.
Faster ball movement from the Pies. The 7 marks inside 50 to 2. And they have a huge appetite for it to continue going. It was touched off the boot. No one realised it immediately. Clark out to Mundy. 30-point margin in favour of the visiting team. Up towards Banfield. Quainer knocked it down. Switkowski arches the back. Again, the tackle from the Pies. And then the smother. What an effort from Noble. The tackle, the recovery, the smother to save the goal. Desperation from the Magpies.
That's you take your Jeremy Howe mark and you stack it up against that, and that is every bit as good. That's every bit as good as the Howe mark from John Noble. The tackle and the smother.
He's feeling it a bit too. Just off the ball. Freo get another chance to reload. Brayshaw. Chapman pulls the kick in short. And again, the desperation. Noble, Mr. 1%er, sees it away, and it's out of play.
One thing I'd say about, John's had a quiet month. And as we can see here, he's front and centre there. That's his man. He tries to stick the tackle, and then he's up. And he cops a knee in the bum from Jeremy Howe. John's had a quiet month, but with a few leaders in and around the place, then he gets a chance to pop up and just play his role a little bit better, and he's had an exceptional game today.
See, that's as good a 20 seconds as you can hope for.
And Collingwood just giving nothing away. And side bottom tumbles the ball back, and 2 Dockers collide. Lowe took out Collier, allows Collingwood in again with a high ball, a big barrel. Ginnivan out the back, he'll take it, he'll waltz away, and with all the flair in the world, he'll celebrate early and bang it up into the second tier. Collingwood are on their way, and the young man is enjoying every second of it.
Is he going to get in trouble for that?
Cue the outrage.
How good was that?
I'll tell you what I'd love.
Loved it.
I'd love, and he will acknowledge, I'm sure, if he ran the length and went to John Noble and said, hey, how good is footy right now? Because what Noble did at the other end of the ground was just full of heroic, and is the embodiment of what I would imagine Collingwood set themselves to do in this game against a highly fancied Freo. And then Ginnivan gets the plaudits because he kicked a goal, which is great. But hey, the noble effort is for mine, the one.
And one thing I don't think you can underestimate, and in a broader scale of things, is when sides get their skeleton together, then you can build the flesh off the back of it. You know, when Pendlebury comes back into the side because he's important to the midfield. When Jamie Elliott goes back in the forward line, and you saw his energy early, and that really sets us up.
Switkowski will feed it through to Mundy, who steps inside, and he couldn't hit Brodie. It's now with Walters, who's kicked one this term. Now it's a 3-on-1 offside. Bottom kept it in play, and Quainer will see it over.
I think I just said us, guys.
Old habits, old habits.
$1 in the jar.
Well, any Collingwood man or woman or young child would be over the moon with their performance tonight. Absolutely through.
Cameron couldn't mark it. My checks wrapped up.
It speaks to a team who refused to, give a season away. Like they've lost, I think, 4 in a row. And they said, hey, no, we're not accepting the fact that, we're young, or, we've got a new coach, and, then we'll take time to... No, they put their stake in the ground tonight, and said, no, our season's not over, and their performance says they're all on the same page.
And you know what they say next? They say we go to 5-5, and then we play Carlton at the MCG next week. I think there might be 80,000 there.
We need 150,000 stadium.
Very my check looking a bit sore. Side bottom trying to hack that one away. Noble, crisp. The side bottom, Sarong, Walters. And now Mundy. He'll pull the trigger himself this time, and he'll fire it through for a goal. David Mundy.
Stranger things have happened, but geez, it would be an exceptional effort for Fremantle to build a charge from here. Collingwood's consistency of effort has been supreme, but on this occasion, it's the pressure here from Caleb Sarong, who's come out of that midfield, forces the ground ball out of Collingwood's hands, and then they redeem it at the ground. Quick hands out. That's why Sun Waltz is here, and good finish by an experienced player in Mundy.
It's a really interesting time with 11 minutes to go because my check's come off the ground, so let's see the injury.
If he's gone off, it's something significant because he doesn't even show pain, this fella.
He doesn't look too distressed, so I'm hoping that's okay.
Back in the middle. Elliott loses out to Brayshaw. Mundy sliding in, but couldn't get an effective handball. Nick Dacos. So clean as he weaved his way, kicked up towards McCreery. Lipinski. Elliott. He's made a great return. Now Brown. Enjoyed being up around the footy. Kick inside and low. Playing in front of De Goey. Intercepts. So Fremantle have had 354 possessions to Collingwood's 299. Magpies have just been so desperate as Jeremy Howe takes to the sky again. And then Walters overzealous. And just checked himself in time with a reaction.
See, that is good. That is the rule working. We're getting there, finally.
Long kick goes in. Logue again impacts. Spills to Adams. Schultz. There's out of defence, but it'll be straight back in. Nick Dacos marks.
Out behind, take him out. Michael out. Michael.
Disposal number 18.
Play on.
Coming up for Nick Dacos. Long ball in. Logue again with the spike away. Brown. Back between his legs. Hoskin Elliott up to Lipinski. Across the face with just pitch inside of play and go out for a boundary throw-in.
Is this as involved as Tyler Brown's been for a while for Collingwood? I mean, he's been given that second ruck job since Mason Cox has gone off, which might be helping him, but he looks to be much more involved. Yeah,
well, I think he hasn't been able to cut his teeth as a midfielder. He doesn't find enough of the ball, but he's a big unit and he likes contested situations. So the second ruck role has played in his favour after Mason Cox's departure. Darcy
down to Brayshaw. And Moore intercept in front of Lobb.
Leadership at the back, leadership through the middle. I think Cameron's rucking today has been really good as well.
One ball in, Elliott trying to fly. Well tangle, Ginnivan. Brodie. Gets it back, Darcy just clearing it. Quainer. Judges it so well. Still just under 9 minutes to go. Collingwood looking comfortable with a 29-point lead. And it goes again, off hands. Cameron's trying to claim the mark. He's not paid. We'll get a ball up. If I say Sean Darcy got hands to it first. Collingwood still deep inside 50. Ryan taken to grounds. Tackle number 81 for the Magpies.
It's a standard they've set, perhaps. That's the other thing. So, I mean, Craig McRae can keep throwing this back at this side, saying, hey, good things happen when we are ferocious at the opponent and are able to put tackle pressure on like this. So they have set themselves a very, very high bar, which is not a bad thing. But anything less now, you sit back and say, hey, you're capable of more. It's a nice, it's a reality check for the Dockers right now too, who were purring along earlier on in the season.
Adams got his boot to it. Henry again was up. He'll get a free kick. Over the shoulder, high contact against Clark. And Oliver Henry got the chance to go back for number 4.
Well, this could be a little breakout for him. He couldn't hit the side of a barn a couple of weeks ago, which I'm told is not symptomatic of the way he kicks the footy. I think he kicked 7 straight in a VFL game. So maybe that was just pressure, maybe it was a lack of confidence, or just not really thinking that you belong just yet as a young player.
If you're marking forward, it helps when your team are actually winning the ball and getting it inside the front half, and that hasn't happened in his last opportunities. It has happened in his last 3 quarters.
Oliver Henry been striking the world, and he has been the super sub this afternoon with 4 goals.
It'd be really interesting to consider how effective has the most effective medical sub been. Like, this is as strong a performance as I've seen as anyone that's come from that role into a game, and you know, 4 goals in 11 is a really strong contribution. Yeah. But as I was saying, I mean, if you're a forward and you're not winning the midfield battle, clearances and contested ball, you're down, you're doing a lot of your work running back towards the opposition's goals, and you're having to roll back to defend. Now, he's had the chance to stay in the front half and finish.
Well, the instance I'm talking about, though, was he didn't get the footy. He had 5 shots at goal. So he was winning the ball, and his kicking was like, it was horrid.
Yes, yeah.
So,
and that's abnormal. But he's a young player, and I think we're seeing the best of him. Yeah.
Brayshaw out of the middle, but straight to Josh Dacos, not the required distance. To Ginnivan, one-on-one there with Ryan, who's unhappy. How much have we spoken about the Ginnivan running into the square over the next 24 hours, you think?
Well, I think...
And celebrating
I think because he couldn't give a toss would mean there might be one bloke who might take issue with it, but not many others.
He's a good character for footy. He's through the middle of the ground. The Pies get it go again. It was into the path of Crisp, has continued to run, and here he is. Ginnivan tried to do the team thing. He couldn't find it. Young slipped over. Ginnivan again going in. Switkowski pins him.
Oh, and a chicken wing. That's a dead set free kick right there. He went for the see if he could draw the free kick and didn't, and should have been pinned.
Yeah, that should have been holding the ball, and then what Luke Ryan did was not great either.
And spills to Ginnivan again. Awkward from Aish. Very nearly high contact, and it'll be a ball up.
We're seeing a lot of little things that I reckon we'll hear about a little more throughout the week. Yeah, this is a game of footy. You've got to play it out, but it's still a bit of niggle.
Crisp gets it on the boot and sails it through. He's been sick all week, but now he's got the winning feeling.
Well, this is about the time with 6.5 minutes to go. I don't know what that would read on the clock. Probably 20 minutes, would it? Where you start to think, where you start to enjoy 41 points. People go, do you enjoy the game? Well, you do, but you're immersed in it. You're trying your hardest and all that. But at some stage, you'll look up and the clock will say 24.5 minutes, and you're 41 points up. That's when you really enjoy footy. And this bloke, Jack Crisp, enjoys it every time. And the thing about him is, he fronts up. He just keeps fronting up and keeps playing at a high standard.
I don't know what the highest version of steak knives are in the competition in the world. Somewhere in Japan, the sharpest. But he is premium, and he's still an underrated player in the competition, which I'm amazed by.
Part of Dane Beam's trade way back in the day, and he's certainly been value for the Magpies. Hasn't missed since he's made his debut at Collingwood as the Dockers go inside 50, knocked away by Quainer. And then Lipinski, Brown, back for Quainer. Loves to dash off half-back. Myercheck with a nudge a bit too early. The free kick will come back to the Dockers. Ryan hits it. Lob, nowhere to mark. Brown involved. Noble. He'll never stop. Another lunging tackle just to dislodge it. Brodie going in. He's fought hard all afternoon. Sarong.
Collingwood's still at Fremantle here, like relentlessly at them. Every single one of them are tuned to this pressure situation.
A 41-point margin in their favour. They haven't given an inch. As Darcy and Lobb get mixed up. Should have been an easy mark to the Dockers, but the connection just hasn't been there. As Ryan sends it long. Walters leaping early, and it's out of play.
It's just unravelled for Freo, but it's unravelled on the back of what Collingwood have done to them. I mean, sure that they've got players down, and Brayshaw hasn't. We still had 30 touches, but hasn't had the impact. And Ryan and Darcy and Akers has had a good year, but it's been because of Collingwood. I mean, their relentless attack on the opposition when they're at the footy has just got them second guessing themselves.
Brennan Cox. Later Sarong. And into the pocket. Banfield.
So Collingwood up to 83 tackles. Scott Pendlebury, the skipper's led with 9. Taylor Adams, 8, the vice captain with 8. Darcy Cameron, as a ruckman, to stick 8 tackles. That's a remarkable performance, and evenly shared after that.
Put down by Sean Darcy, but Brown able to clear it away, and Henry again.
How good will it be for this young man's confidence now as a second, third tall forward?
He definitely asks questions of opposition when he's marking the ball the way he is. He's still a young player, and he will have ups and downs, but you can definitely see what he's capable of.
Collingwood's top pick in 2020, Oliver Henry. 17. As the ball goes back through Collier. Long up towards Lobb. Howe flying there. Tapping away to down. Can feed it away to Walters, who's got 1 in this final term, but it's away to the right-hand side. And another behind to Freo. And 4.5 minutes to go. Long kick. Cameron standing tall. Enjoying the opportunity of spending a lot more time in the ruck. Free kick will come back here to De Goey. Will Brodie up to 36 disposals for Fremantle, 11 clearances. It's a PB for him in terms of clearances. Lipinski, 28 touches for the Pies as ball goes long. Darcy's up. Clark trying to knock it back. Adams going in hard, burrowing in to win the footy. Henry with one hand controlled it. Ryan, Clark, here's it away. To go, he said himself.
It's a nice message in this too. Like, Jordan's been really good. Don't get me wrong. He's had a really good afternoon, but he hasn't been the breakout star. So the message here is for him and for his teammates. We don't expect you to be the 5-goal superhero, which he can and will be again. Play your role.
De Goey from outside 50. And strike it as sweetly as he can. Brown was up. He's been competing for everything in this second half. After it, Clark, Brennan Cox tackled over the line and happy to concede the behind.
Well, Collingwood have done what they've done with 50 less touches in the opposition. And you look at a game like this, it's not about how many times you actually get the ball, it's what you do with it. And the pressure that you exert on the opposition when they win it, which I think has been a standout attribute of the Collingwood performance.
Noble. Nick Dacos. He knew that he had Howe there. He just slipped between a couple of tacklers. Brown. Back for Maynard.
Not quite the same commitment to tackling for the purple team as the black and white team.
Crisp. Now Lipinski. So the disposal of number 29 coming up for Patrick Lipinski. He's been racking up the footy this season. And he copped a knock as he went for that one. McCreary trying to get it to side bottom. Sarong coughed it up to Henry. It was taken high and will get the free kick. He's a chance for 5.
15 tackles in there forward, 50-5 for Collingwood, which also speaks to the mindset. Mind you, they've out-tackled them all over the ground, but it's always a great sign. McCreary's been important, and that hasn't had a stack of footy, but every time the ball's hit the ground, he's been at someone. And a nice bag of 5 as a sub would be a very, very good return.
Oliver Henry. He was dropped for this match. He wasn't even in the side at the start of the day. Mehdi Sabkalzeni couldn't finish it off with that 5th. Got 3 goals in the final quarter for Oliver Henry, 1 in the 3rd, 4 for the match. A minute 30 to go. Freo fans make it a stunned silence.
Collingwood Carlton next week, Bucks.
It's a slightly big game, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
Carlton are in great form. Their form the last month's been sensational.
Darcy drops back to mark.
Well, the Pies have done their part in building up the blockbuster, because their performance tonight has been first rate. They've got to bring that same intensity against this very good Carlton mob, and we're going to have a beauty on our hands.
Frederick able to get it through. Brayshaw back to Frederick. Send it up towards the 50. Howe was able to spike it away. Sarong couldn't get the handball past Nick Dacos, and then it's locked up momentarily in there. Switkowski. Maynard still scrapping as you'd expect. Spills out to Sarong. High ball goes in. Howe was up. Murphy, a successful return after an early knock. And now side bottom.
They're not giving anything up. 20 seconds on the clock, and they refuse to concede a goal.
So Noble. Freo going short to Brayshaw, who's found a lot of the footy. They will get a goal here.
They will.
He's had 20 touches in the second half. Andrew Brayshaw is 4 on, but Freo have just been overwhelmed by the Magpies. Craig McRae handshakes all round on the Collingwood bench. Brayshaw kicks the goal.
Fremantle able to sort of turn the ball over and come back to Brayshaw. Ollie Henry there coming from behind the ball carrier and through the restricted area, which is a 50-metre penalty, and then an easy goal for Brayshaw. But Collingwood with 87 tackles. Only Fremantle with 93 last week have had more tackles in any game this year. So that's the DNA and it's the blueprint.
So we're 7-2. Well, Fremantle was 7-2 coming into it. These are Collingwood's next 4 matches. So Hawthorn, unbelievable victory today against Brisbane down there in Tassie. So these young sides with new coaches and all performing well. And the Dockers, who are 7-2 coming in, have got the Demons next week at the MCG.
The Storm has ripped through Fremantle's game plan as their top 4 credentials are questioned. Collingwood show just what they are capable of and set up a monumental clash with the old Navy Blues next week. Collingwood by 36 points.